Hey guys, I haven't had a lot of time lately to make videos or sit online, but I got online tonight and I saw a comment on my Facebook about something about WombTube, and it was a Good Morning America, I believe. I watched like a little newscast about it. I also watched one, I believe, ABC News. And there's a couple, and it's huge right now, people talking about WombTube. And so I just wanted to kind of give my perspective of WombTube. So first of all, I think it's an absolutely ridiculous name. And it's a little degrading towards the whole community, but whatever. It's okay, though. I guess if you're not a part of it, you would call it that. And you would kind of mock it. People would think it's sort of weird. But I have to say, as somebody, a part of this community, I, of course, am not pregnant, but that is what I'm trying to achieve. Now, they say that you're sharing too much information by posting pregnancy results shows and, you know, sharing all of your personal information, and agreed, we give too much information. But I have to say that it's extremely helpful for someone who's having issues trying to conceive. And if you don't know anything about trying to conceive, you really shouldn't be able to say anything about it, in my opinion. Unless you've gone through it, you don't know what it's like and what a lonely process it can be. It's extremely lonely. You don't find many people who are trying to conceive, and when you do, you latch on to them because it's refreshing to find somebody who actually shares the same, not a hobby, it's not a hobby. That's not what I'm trying to say. It's not a hobby. But shares the same interests. I mean, we all want to be mothers. We all want to, God, people are texting me, sorry. We all want to be mothers. We all want to have children, and that is our common interest and our common goal. And we aren't doing it for fun. We're not doing it for any reason other than the fact that we want to be mothers. And not all of us struggle with infertility, especially the women that were shown in the videos, but we aren't freaks. We aren't oversharers. And the only reason we do overshare is because we're trying to help each other out. I do not know one person in my daily life that's trying to conceive. And I know hundreds of you on YouTube who are. And I can honestly say, without worrying that I sound like an insane creep, I've made some of the best friends on YouTube that I've ever had, who understand what I'm going through, who are sympathetic, who are so encouraging, who always have a positive word to say. And I have to say, it's nice to have someone to talk to. I basically, in my normal everyday life, don't really have many people who want to sit and listen to me talk about trying to conceive because it's not interesting to them. It's not interesting to most people who know nothing about it, for one. They don't want to hear about my cervix and my cervical mucus and all that nasty stuff. But you guys do, because you're going through the same thing. You understand what it's about, and they think it's an overshare, and I don't. I think that that's BS. I do have to say, I am going to tell my husband first. That's one of the big things. Oh, these people are telling strangers over their husbands. Well, they're excited. They're excited. I've been trying to conceive for so long. You just want to tell everybody. And I understand that feeling. I've never been pregnant, and unfortunately, I've never had to take a pregnancy test on YouTube because I always get my answer before it comes to that point. But even with all of the oversharing that happens, I appreciate everything that everyone says. And I have to say, I'm going to keep trying to conceive. I'm going to keep trying to conceive vlogs, because I have been extremely pleased, and I've met some amazing friends, and I've gotten awesome advice. And if it weren't for you guys, I would have never found a reproductive endocrinologist. I would have never known about the drugs that are helping me to ovulate and to be able to get to the point where I can have a baby. Because if it weren't for all of you, I would still be stuck in the PCOS cycle where I never have a regular month, and I wouldn't be a million steps closer as I am now to finally having a baby. So I wanted to thank you all, and don't listen to all this negative talk about WombTube. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. I think that people are just ignorant. They don't know. They're news reporters. What are they going to do? They don't know about how hard it is. And if they had to go through all of the infertility struggles that we all do, I think that they'd look for a positive outlet like we have. And as much as people don't want to admit it, having online friends is an okay thing. It's not creepy. I don't think so. I used to think so. I used to think that it was super weird, people that have friends online. And now I love all of you so much. I talk about you as if you are my friends, because you guys are my friends. You guys, you talk to me more than my real friends in real life. And I just so appreciate you. You always have a positive, kind thing to say to me. And even if I do get a negative that month, you guys are always uplifting. You care. I could post a 30-minute video of me ranting and you guys will watch it. And I can't say that for most of my friends here in real life. And you guys are extremely supportive people. And this is an amazing outlet. I feel so much better after I make a video, and especially when I get all of your feedback, and I get different feedback from everybody, and I get people telling me that I'm helping them and that they love watching my videos because I'm real, and that's awesome, because a lot of people don't have that in their life, and I understand that. I don't have that in my life. We have our husbands, we have our boyfriends, whatever, but men can only be so supportive because they're one part of the trying to conceive process, and we're women, we're not men. We have different ways of dealing with things, and I appreciate their help, but at the same time, you need that female camaraderie. And I think that as unfortunate as it is, it has to be on YouTube, because we don't always have that in our real everyday life. So we have to find it in any way that we can, and we find it through YouTube. And I'm so glad that I have, because I have found some of the most awesome women who deserve to be mothers more than anyone, who try so hard to get children. And a lot of these WombTube things haven't even been about infertility. They're just talking about people announcing pregnancies online. And you can't just lump us all into one category, because unfortunately, the women that were shown in the video can get pregnant at the drop of a hat, already have 30 kids, blah, blah, blah. And the majority of the mothers out there, or not mothers, excuse me, TTCers, are struggling with infertility. They didn't really show our side of it. And I would have to say that I think that we are one of the biggest parts of it. And we're actually, I think, an extremely important part of it, to realize that that community is there for people who can't get pregnant. Not just people posting their pregnancy videos, but what about the people who can't get pregnant? And we post more of that than anyone. We give more TMI than anyone. And I think that we're an extremely important part of the trying to conceive area. I mean, some people try to conceive 2 months pregnant. That's awesome for them. I'm not downing them at all. But there's a lot more out there who have an issue with it. And I feel like, I don't know, I'd like us to be portrayed in a positive light. And even if not, screw them, I don't care. Because I know that we're good people and all we're trying to do is get children, and that's not a negative thing, and it never will be. Anyone who can try really hard to get a baby is, I would say, doing the right thing in my book. I think it's pretty great that we're all such a close-knit family, and I never was one of these people before. I thought that was totally stupid and creepy, and I have to say, disagree. I was wrong. You're so helpful, and I appreciate all of you so much. And this has already been a 10-minute video, but that's okay, because I think this is an important subject, because it's a lot in the media now, and some people are just absolutely disgusted with the amount that people are, putting out there for the world to see. And I think we can put videos out there of just about anything else, but for some reason, pregnancy has to be on the forefront of it. And of course these women want to share it with the world because it's the most exciting news of her life. And I don't know. And they say a lot, oh, well, why don't women wait until after their first trimester when it's more safe? Well, you try to get the most important news of your life, something that you've been waiting for forever, and then keep it a secret for 3 months. No, not gonna happen. And of course, there's the whole miscarriage factor. But like I told myself, I was going to wait until the first trimester was over to tell people when I get pregnant, when that day finally happens. I'm not, because I'll tell you why. Say I did have a miscarriage in that first trimester. Well, I would be a wreck. I would be extremely upset. Everyone would know there was something wrong with me anyway, and I'd probably end up telling people anyway. So, I mean, I'm not going to tell him the day I get pregnant, probably. I'm going to tell my husband first. That's just me. I want to tell him first. I want to respect him and tell him first. I understand if you didn't tell your husband first, because a lot of the times they're not there and you just want to tell somebody. And we're all so supportive. And so yeah, that's how I'm going to do it. I think that waiting, it's up to you. No one else decides when you tell people. If you have the unfortunate event that you end up having a miscarriage, then, it sucks, and it does, but it's for no one else to say. I mean, you made the decision to tell people. You knew what the chances were that something would happen, and if something does, then you have the support of the people that you had told online, and you have more support than if you were to go at it alone. It sucks to tell people something like that, but I think having the support of, the hundreds or thousands of people out there to say, I've gone through it, I know how you feel, it will get better. I've already met people on here who have had miscarriages, and let me say, they are stronger because of it. Some of them have gone through the most horrifying things you can imagine, but they have been there for other people who have gone through it, and they have really great advice, and it's better than keeping to yourself. Now, some of these people are even private with their pregnancies, but they just want people to know. I mean, I'm going to do pregnancy vlogs because I love watching them, because pregnancy and reproductive system and the whole making babies process is extremely interesting to me. I absolutely love to learn about it, and I love to watch the real pregnancy journeys. You don't want to read about everything in a text. You like to see it, happening with real women and their real time, and it's pretty amazing to watch. So, plus you get to form really good bonds and friendships with people, and I can say that I've made some of the best friends, and it is worth it. It is amazing. WombTube is not what I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it the TTC community. That's what we are. We are the Trying to Conceive and Pregnancy Vlog community, and I love us all, and we all we all have good intentions, and I think that don't let the man bring you down. If that's what they're trying to do. Maybe they're just trying to show people. But let's all be positive about how awesome this whole community is, and it's not TMI, and even if it is, screw them. I don't care. So, yeah, guys, I just wanted to let you know that was kind of my take on WombTube. I've seen like 3 videos and posts about it today, and I had to say something because I didn't know if people were getting upset, and I saw some comments, so it's okay, guys. It's okay. They're gonna make us look how they want to make us look. The media does crazy things, and that's okay. It's the media.